Okay. Why don't you stream live? They said. That's gonna be really nice. How hard can it be? How hard can it be? All right. God damn it. Wait. MIDI to key. Yay. My Gerd, guys. My Gerd. What the hell? What is this life? What is reality? What's it all good for? What's the purpose of life? Because right now I'm kind of like, fuck this shit. I'm joking. Hey, shout out to everybody if you're back. I don't know, like today is one of these days, I guess. So yeah, I'm sorting out my chat for the third time. Jacob, just let me know what the hell is happening, as you always do, because I'm not going to be able to read. I deleted a bunch of shit from my OBS. My shit kept crashing 4 times in a row or something. I lost track. I don't know how to count anymore. What do I even know? So let's just do this. The Twitch chat is apparently still not being being picked up by Restream, which is another thing. Anyways. Turntables are working. All right, I'm gonna load in Twitch on something else, and then we're good to go. Oh wow! I keep forgetting that you can hear all of this stuff. I don't know how to fucking read the chat now. You know what? Jacob's going to put everything in Discord, and that's what it's going to be. Apologies for this madness. I would say it's not my fault, but then again, we don't really know that. So I'm going to shut up and scratch. Yeah, that's something that I'm good at finally. This is what we're going to learn today, by the way. Who's been asking for California rolls? Okay. Könnt ihr mich hören? Könnt ihr mich sehen? Könnt ihr mich sehen? Könnt ihr mich hören? Everything okay? I'm sort of cautious at this point in time, man. I'm so self-aware right now. It's ridiculous. Which is kind of weird because I feel self-aware, yet I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, we're winging this. I'm not going to be destroyed by no technical difficulties. That's how I do, even if I don't have air horns to prove it at the moment. It's a shame that I can't really see the chat today, but Jacob is there, so just add him or something, whatever you got to do to get that guy's attention. Wiggle at him, throw dollar bills at that guy. He reacts really well to that. Anyways, I promised everybody we're going to talk about some double time scratching today. And we're going to do that. First, you got to let me know if you guys still want to do the warm-up thing because I'm really kind of late on time. We can still do all that stuff later. It doesn't really matter. Just let me know if you want to do it. And if you do, we can go there. Someone is hosting right now. I appreciate that. DJ Grigo, Ego. That sounded different than I meant to. Thanks for hosting, by the way. So, I actually made like a little checklist for that stuff, but if I walk away from the mic, I'm gonna lose touch. Who's this? Wait, let me check back to like OBS. Switch. I'm always saying switch. You picked that up because I know I said switch. I guess your name is Switch. Let me know if I'm getting that right. Thank you for hosting. Thanks for being here. Thanks, by the way, everyone who's always showing up. This is cool. I get kind of like a class feeling, like we actually have like a little academy going on here. Once again, if you want to grab this bead, I nailed it. Thank you very much. That will be a first for today. It hasn't been going so well, but switch. That's something that I pulled off. DJ MIDI something? DJ MIDI Kona is asking if you can scratch better with a S9 or a Z2. I don't know if you can see that guy over there. Native Instruments Mixer versus S9 by Pioneer. There's no difference, really. I mean, except from the price, which I believe is like a whopping 1,000 euros. So yeah, the difference. That's a bit of a difference, but right now my fader in the Z2 is kind of screwy, so I prefer the S9 at the moment. It's not a statement though, because there's some other things about the S9 that I don't like so much. I do like no new followers. I do like new followers. Thanks. Welcome to the gang. Whoever that was, I can't see right now, but you're also DJ Soulfees. Step Soulfees. What up? All right, we're weighing this. Cool, so what the hell is double time scratching, you might ask? And to be honest with you, fuck, how can I see this crazy? How can I make this larger? I forgot that I'm getting old. My eyes are not so good. I can't read the shit that I put down. But, okay, so I'm going to try my best and explain this because before I was like, hey, this is easy to explain. It's not going to be hard at all. Crazy. I had to call up my parents about some like musical science shit. We still couldn't really figure it out. I'm going to try my best to tell you what it is because these terms can be really confusing. Half time, real time, what is half, what is full, double time, what is what? Like, it kind of makes sense if you know what it means, but just like looking at the words, this is not necessarily going to make a lot of sense to you. So it's technically just another wrong name, and really all that it means is that you use certain types of syncopation, which is something that we're going to look at. I'm going to try my best to explain what that means. Different kind of rhythmical patterns, certain usages of silence, what we talked about earlier, pauses and all of that shit. So things that make stuff be perceived at a higher speed. And that's not the same as actually being faster, which is something that we're going to explore later. It's generally pretty interesting, for me at least. If you're into production, you're probably also going to take something away from this. But again, let's look at what this is. So if you want to know what double time is, we probably have to look at what real time, quote unquote, would mean, first of all. And like, I kind of fried my brain over that, but I guess like the best explanation that I have is that real time is the BPM, you know? So like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the way that it works is that one bar is typically set up by 4 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you usually have like a kick and a snare. Kick on the 1, snare on the 2. It could be 4 to the floor, doesn't matter. But this is the reference that we're going to look at to be like real time. Then again, you know, that could be real time 180, that could be a real time 90 BPM. It doesn't really matter. But we're getting a little bit closer to the actual solution. So right now we're listening to a beat where you could argue that this is like 70 BPM. And that is correct. This is 70 BPM because the difference, or like the time between the kick and the snare is 1 BPM. This is where it starts to get confusing because in my mind, I look at something like this, like 140, which is double time if you want, you know? But I guess a good way how you could explain like why this feeling has a double time, real time, half time, whatever feeling to it is like, if you imagine like how do people usually like move to this shit? So like you have this, but you know, like if you look at especially like EDM festivals and stuff like that, there's so much more energy in the music that people kind of like start doing this. Kajudo, Udo, shout out my man. Thanks for always being there like a real G. So yeah, like technically, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And since the tempo is like 1, 2, this is like technically double time. So this is one way to look at it. It still doesn't really tell you anything about the scratching bit. But just to complete that thought process, if you look at something like drum and bass, that would be boom, boom, boom. So the kick and the snare, that's what determines the quarter note or the BPM. So that's definitely 180 versus the 90 or 160 versus 80 and stuff like that. So what happens there? Actually, the opposite of everything happens. If you look at people, how they move, if it's like drum and bass, I mean, I've seen people do it. It's not like it doesn't happen. But, you know, you get like, oh, shit. Valu. Thank you, Valu. Danke für die donation. Asian in the coronation. Awesome. All right, where was I at? I was yapping about drum and bass and halftime. So yeah, how do people move? They don't go like boof. Some people do. I wouldn't do that. You would typically just go like, oh, okay, you know what? Like if I go like in the half speed, this actually feels a lot more like comfortable and stuff like that. So you could argue that dancing halftime to drum and bass is probably a little bit more natural. So in the end, what I'm getting to here is you end up with a certain range that gives you like this feeling that moving twice the speed of the track is gonna like feel still natural, you know? This doesn't feel athletic. I can do this, have a cup of coffee, frappuccinos, whatever the fuck. I can do whatever the hell I want, so it still feels natural. Like you wouldn't double time like 100 BPM and just be like a machine gun. You would never do that. So we end up with a range, and this is like debatable, at least, you know, this is just my opinion, but I would argue somewhere between like 60 or 120, depending on how you look at it, up to like whatever, don't let me lie right now, but like 150 something, you know, that's probably like my range where I feel comfortable, like to make stuff appear twice as fast as it actually is. Hey, for God's sake, let me know if this is like way too crazy, like on a nerd level, because we can go deeper. Typically, you guys want me to go deeper, so this is what I did today. If this is like too crazy, you just like stop me, just tell me to shut up. But other than that, I'm gonna keep going. All right, that was stage 1 of my double time explanation. All right, stage 2. How does it actually sound? Hold on. What is stupid? Lil Texas. I'll use that, Lil Texas. I know a dope producer called Lil Texas, but yeah, 200 BPM would be very weird. Like, why would you do that? Anyways, like, It's not the perfect explanation, and I'm gonna kill myself over this shit later, but anyways, like, this should give you some kind of feeling. Anyways, to explain how everything works, we're gonna have to use this tone. And the reason why is because there's no end to this. I can just have this keep going so you can really see what is going on, and we can talk about the different rhythms and syncopations that I already kind of hinted at, to let you know how you can do this thing that everybody calls double time scratching. It's just a style, I guess. It's just a funny word. But think about like rap. Actually, let me pull something up. Hold on. How long is this shit? Can you still hear me? Like here? I see something. Can you still hear this? I guess not. Anyways, think about something like Hustling by Rick Ross. I don't know why I'm thinking about this, but it's like definitely not double time. Oh, what? 9, Alter. Schmitty! Hey, this is crazy. This is like a punk rock homie from school days. This is, do you see my smile right now? This is crazy. God damn. Okay, I'm embarrassed now. Yeah, Schmitty, I'm making different kind of music these days. Much love to Hilden. All right, cool. Rick Ross, right? Hustling every day. So this is like a beat that is like in that range, right? We have 140 BPM, but he's not going double time. Let me prepare something else.
Every day I'm hustling.
Not very double time-ish. Compare that to my man Twista, which I guess is a bit of a blueprint for this whole scratching thing as well.
I told her to drive over in your new whip. Bring some.
Great. Acapella's gonna have to do.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'ma bring the line up. Look like my damn, baby. You ready for the world, girl? Come and go with me. I touch you all over your body, baby. Don't sit on me. And every know to be controlling me. I'm loving the way you be holding me when I be listening to jealousy. And when I come over and get
stick 'em.
I'll hit it from the back to the melody and roll slow. Never gotta go.
All right. It's kind of weird how that went, but it kind of gets the point across. Thank you for following Libs. All right, cool. So, what creates this whole thing? Wait. God damn it. Cool. So, if you listen to like Twista, how he was rapping there, of course, it's really fast. It sounds like he's just using like the fastest intervals that he can possibly pull off, and that's a part of it. But like, he's not just going like forever, you know, like the equivalent of that in scratching would be like. You know, just like forever. You can like hold a bunch of crazy shit and just do that shit for a long time. That's not really how you get where you want to get at. Like, the mix is somewhere in between using these, using the fastest intervals that you can. That's true, but you're also going to throw in a bunch of like different rhythms, like the, I always forget that word. Triplets. Fucking triplets. 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. You know, like these things combine these some polyrhythms, which I'm gonna try my best to explain all these sorts of things to make stuff as repetitive but also irregular and now offbeat as you possibly can. And man, I find it harder to explain what offbeat means in this perspective. Than I thought. By the way, this is so weird not to see like the chat and everything right now. I just see that there's people writing, so I'm confused. But like right now, I feel like I'm alone in my room, just talking about the nerdiest shit that you could ever like imagine. This is what I'm doing with my life, Corona 2020. Say again? Yeah, Jacob is talking to me. Oh yeah. That's a great idea in theory. One like to talk in the BPM. I'm not sure if I'm getting that right, but yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to do it. I'm going to stick to scratching. Anyways, to come back to offbeat, there's two ways how you can look at like offbeat. You know, the one is like the involuntary offbeat, and the other one is like the technical, scientific, correct offbeat. God damn it! So I don't mean like offbeat like Blueface raps offbeat, you know, which, no offense to that guy, like it sounds dope, but he's like not really on beat, you know, like it's just slightly off, which can or can not sound great. Usually it doesn't sound too great. Then there's also, if you have quarter notes like kick and snare, which is a quarter note, yeah, then the eighth note between that is the offbeat. So usually you hear people count like this, you know, like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and. So the and is technically the offbeat. That's what we want when we're talking about offbeat for double time scratching. We're not looking to be actually like somewhere in our own beat that doesn't really exist. So yeah, like all these things together, they make you come up with a certain type of pattern in your things. And I guess like I'm gonna try to explain that just transforming, not scratching at all, just to give you like an idea about where the difference is. Like compare this first, where I don't use like polyrhythms, not a lot of change of rhythmicality, is that a word? You know, like 16th, triplets, whatever, all that stuff. Not a lot of pauses and everything. So just see how that sounds. Like nothing. So this would be like regular ass scratching, right? 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're gonna do some offbeat stuff. So, for example, just some breaks. And by like polyrhythms, I'm probably using words that are like way too much, but I'm talking about like, instead of like, things that change each other differently, and I'm gonna try to explain that in depth. It's not gonna be easy for me, but yeah, you guys at this point need to let me know if this is any helpful, because I'm gonna be going down this rabbit hole if you don't keep me from it. Cool. So, what did we cover? I gave you fucking breaks, syncopation, different rhythmical intervals, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so just to recap this once and for all, like the word double time doesn't necessarily mean that if you're running at X BPM that you're gonna scratch as if the beat was twice as fast. Basically, it just means that you're gonna try and reach a speed that is perceived faster. The offbeats are gonna help you a lot with this. This is probably just a crazy explanation, but it might be one of these things where if you get it, you know, and we practice this together and we actually get you somewhere where you can pull this off, if you can't already, then a lot of this shit is gonna make more sense. I hope it's not one of these. Maybe it makes sense right now. I certainly hope so. But hey, I really felt really weirded out when I was looking up how to explain this today. I was really like, hey, how hard could it be? Like, yeah, you just go like a machine gun. Nope, it's not that easy. And to be fair, it's easier probably to do it than to like talk about it. Yeah. One more thing for the offbeat. In case that helps, you know, if you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is the beat, you know, that's also called the pulse. And then if you put things in between, what I told you, like the and 1 and 2, which is called offbeat, that's what syncopation actually is, which is confusing to me because I thought syncopation, to me, I always thought this like the total possibilities that you have of like rhythm and like pauses, I guess, like however ways you could put them together. It's like, yeah, I would have thought this is like one kind of syncopation, or like this would be like one kind of syncopation, but apparently it's not. Like apparently it just means like anything that's not like entirely on the beat. That's what came up in the fucking dictionary. So yeah, just have that. So yeah, once again, I feel like I'm just talking to you in like fucking quizzes. But recapping, we're gonna use a beat that's somewhere between like 60 and 75, 80-ish at the top. If you like to look at things at like 140 to like 160, that's also fine. That's how I look at it. Confusing in terms of the whole like vocab that we're using, halftime, double time, blah blah blah, whatever. This is what it is. And you use as many pauses and different rhythmical intervals as you can, alternating as much as you can, using offbeat patterns as much as you can, and anything that creates a certain type of speed. That concludes my rap. I'm finally gonna teach you something right now. All right, there's a question. Hold on. Yep, hit me. Oh. I'm going to try my best to translate that question that I was just hit with. Someone is asking if double time means that you put like a, and correct me if this is wrong, Jacob, like a certain amount of syllables, one on every beat. Did I get that right? That's not it, basically. I wouldn't look at it as in like words, because words are made up of syllables and you could distribute those over the rhythm like 1, 2, 3, or like I'm an idiot. You know, you could do that however you want. So I wouldn't really look at it like one word goes here. But you can take the syllables is definitely something. You can't say more than one syllable on anything that you would usually have like one hit on, you know, because it's I guess it's like equivalent. It's like one sound pretty much. I don't know. I probably sound like an idiot right now. But you could just place the words wherever you want to be, and I guess like because there is no real double time, actually. That's what I'm trying to say here all the time. Like, this thing doesn't really exist. It's just a vibe, and that makes stuff feel a certain way. It's kind of like one of these pictures that you look at, and you see two things. I had some of this prepared. I just fucked up everything earlier. Thanks for hosting, Scratching Jackson. Appreciate that. Yeah, fuck, great. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, like words, syllables, and double time. Yeah, it's more like an idea because it makes you feel like things are faster. I wanted to finally teach you something hands-on. If you get your turntables, I'm gonna switch to this guy in a while, and you can actually do it with me. And that way, I promise it's gonna make so much more sense, because words are not built for this shit, really. Like, if the guy who knows how to do this can barely explain, then it's probably going to be really hard to like listen to this shit. And it's like that a lot of times, man. But I digress. Anyways, we're going to learn something. And I brought an instrument for this. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to use this. This is the best metronome that I have at the moment, so you're gonna have to make do. It's the GABA edition of a metronome. And not to hit you too fast, we're gonna slow that shit down a little bit. Maybe around this. Okay. Okay. So. I'm gonna go back to this tone again, right? How am I gonna explain this shit? Let me think for a second. Okay, so basically, like I was tearing my hair out this afternoon, trying to get some help on this topic because I wasn't really sure if we're looking at a certain different interval. I'm hoping I'm using these words correct. I mean, like 16ths compared to like eighth notes and whatever. And we did already talk about triplets, you know. So instead of 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, you get like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So if you have a beat like this, you know, like that would be triplets. It's a little bit fast. 1 2 3 5. Fuck it, I can't talk that fast. Anyways, so there's also a thing called dotted, and I don't want to like confuse you too much with it, but it's like it's the note length, whatever you have, like an eighth note, and then half of it on top of that. I think this is somewhat what we're ending up with here, but I wasn't able to confirm that like 100%. So we're gonna have to follow up with that next week. But there's a question. Okay, hold on. Yeah, so Jacob is asking right now, like, if the triplet thing is like a waltzer. That's exactly how you can look at it. I think I even said that like sometime where, you know, like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, and it's kind of like that. It's not. Oh man, I'm gonna fuck this up. It's not exactly the same. Jacob, let me follow up on that next week. Let's play some percussion. Because I might actually fuck this up right now. I'm saying this and I'm like, that doesn't sound like it's actually true. So I don't want to be like spreading misinformation. But hold on. Does anyone know about percussion? Does anyone know about like the different ones? Does anyone know like Latin percussion, Afro-Cuban percussion? 312. Where are you at, my man? I'm gonna need some science help. Because we want to look at one of these pseudo polyrhythms, you know, and this is what I'm going to call it because I'm not sure if it's a polyrhythm or a dotted note. But I'm going to have to try this. Hold on. Can you hear this? No, fuck. Can you hear this? Can you hear if I bang the fucking jar on the mixer, can you hear this? Okay, we can hear it. All right, you can also hear this. So this is our scratch sound, and this is our beat. So yeah, what's going on here? What is going on here? You hear two sounds all the time. And the reason why I'm making myself look like an idiot with a jar and a pen playing drums is because we can see that way that the pattern of the twos that drifts while the beat is staying stagnant. So it goes like, fuck, I had such a good other example before. How did I do that before? Okay, thank you, DJ Grigo. Man, I'm fucking in pain at the moment, but I hope this is giving you something. All right, we were looking at triplets, right? I'm going to fucking nail it now. Look, watch this. Triplets, right? 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. And if I take out one of them and replace it by a pause, you technically get this thing, you know? So if you have like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, this is like a triplet 1 2 3 1 2 3 on beat, you know? So where's the difference between... Can you still hear all this percussion nonsense? Okay, great. This as well? Yeah, okay. So the difference between this, 1 2 3 1 2 3, and I'm not going to be able to do this, but check this out. I'm not changing anything. It's technically still, wait, how about this? You could also look at it this way. I have a metronome, a GABA metronome. And I'm gonna go forward and back and do 16th notes baby scratches. And that sounds like this, obviously. Oh, I'm nailing this right now, check. All right, so I'm doing forward, back, right? In the duration that one beat takes. So I can change something which has a dramatic impact, but it doesn't really change what I'm doing. All I'm doing is I'm taking these 16th notes, and you see if I put an accent on them, you can see what I mean. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm packaging, god damn it, I'm packaging this 4-sound bit into, I'm packaging the 16th notes into packages of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I can do the same and package it into 3s. And listen to the accent, so you see like the speed doesn't change at all. And you see how the speed is not different to this. And it sounds very fucking different. So, here's my theory, all right? I wish I had air horns. My theory is that because you're doing the same speed, but you're packaging it into less sounds. It takes less time for one cycle to repeat because it takes less time to do, like if the speed is the same, then you take less time to do 3 than you would to do 4, obviously. So, faster. Perceived speed. This is the type of shit that I mean. And finally, I don't give a damn anymore because now at least I know that I got this somewhere. So there's going to be value in this for someone. Mission accomplished with this stupid ass GABA and percussion bullshit. But yeah, it did work out. Ladies and gents, it took me 3 crashes and a whole afternoon to figure this shit out. All right, cool. So we have what is either a polyrhythm, because you see where the difference is. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fuck. Yes. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. So since 4 is divisible by 2, it's an even number, is what I'm trying to say. Your forward is always going to be on a downbeat. Wait. So forward, like there's always a stroke on this. But if you do 3, it's not the forward. They shift. It's going to be, because 3 is obviously an uneven number. Padam tish. And that means it's going to change. Like it's going to be, the first one is a forward on the 1. And then, of course, the next one is also on the 1, but the part, I fucked that up, I'm sorry, is that the accent drifts forward. And that is the offbeat. So this means that you continuously get this like offbeat accent dragging into the actual sound, which is this. Not sound, like beat, sorry. So you end up with kind of like this. That's the accent only. What am I doing with my life, by the way? Anyways, so this is just like, this is what you do, Lucas? Really? It's like some fucking... Yeah, ladies and gents. Twitch chat is showing up. Things are starting to go well. That's nice. That backspin did not go so well. Anyways, what I'm trying to say here is we get this continuous accent on the offbeat. Oh, I see chat. What up, chat? Cool. And we get this bim, 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 bim. You know, it's like constantly leading into this beat. And that's something that creates, like, at least in my world, it's comparable to, I guess, let's not get too crazy here, but if you have a scale, the last tone within the scale, I don't know if you know about this, like you can never really stop after that because it kind of like has this need to be resolved in the original key or the tonic, whatever. Let's not pretend like I know any of this shit. Like, it creates tension. That's really what I'm trying to say. I love you guys. Okay. Sorry that it's got to be really awkward. Fucking hell. Okay. Thank you, Jacob. Let me like get at this for a second. First of all, hey, thanks, Jacob, once again for like helping me out with this stuff. Otherwise, I would be completely screwed right now. What was it again? Shit. No, I lost it. Yeah, someone has been saying this actually makes a lot of sense for me, who I'm standing here alone in a room with a fucking bright light in my face and like only one person talking into my ear. That's great. I'm so happy that we can make this happen. Yeah, turning people into scratch weapons of mass destruction, one Wednesday at a goddamn time. All right, we're almost there. We're gonna fucking learn something right now. Okay, wait, where was I? Okay, okay, I was telling you about this pattern and how it drifts, right? Okay, this is not going to remind you of much yet, but check this out. I'm going, oh man, now it's all starting to make sense. Take this. And compare that to this. And if you're wondering what the fuck is he doing, I'm not trying to tell you how to cha-cha. You know this. We've been talking so much about this. I want to know if anyone knows this. Yes! Who is this? DJ Minike has been paying attention. 2 clicks, ladies and gentlemen. I've been rapping and yapping and snapping about how much I love 2 clicks, and this is another reason why. So now you're going to be like, you idiot, you told us you're going to teach us something new. We talked about this 2 weeks ago. God damn it. And I would say, you're right. So today, we're going to do something new. Look at this. Yeah, sorry again for this tone, but the reason for this is like, it never ends, you know? Not like an ah that ends so fast. Anyways, listen to this. We kind of remember this or look at this as like a sequence of 2 tones, right? All right, so 2 tones, right? Didn't I tell you? This is Arcade. Shout out to you, my man. Jacob is telling me that you're in this bitch. Shout out. All right, so that is true. 2 clicks is a fucking powerful weapon. Now what I wanted to get to, though, is like, didn't I tell you that with 2 clicks, you get 3 sounds? And yet we have 2. Why? Yes, Grigo has been paying attention as well. So why are we not getting 3 sounds if we're doing 2 clicks? And here we do. And this is one of the things that is going to sound so obvious once you know the solution. Ding, 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 ding. All right, should I just give you the answer? The answer is because we're not changing the record movement. And this is why I need this endless tone. Because if I just do the technique, of course, I'm not changing the movement of the record. So I'm not creating silence between forward and backward, you know? So I'm not getting that free extra sounds for these. But I can just throw them in there by just doing that. And just throw in that record change. So this is the 2-click, right? You see, I just stop the record movement in the middle and just keep going with a very constant click, and it just keeps going, but it creates different patterns, more up to like that vibe, you know? Baby plus 2-click. Yes, yeah, sorry, yeah. Very good observation. That I wasn't supposed to do that. Technically, it would just be like, because I did like some extra shit like this. We're gonna also look at that, but like, yeah. So basically, if we put those two together, like we do 1 2-click, and then instead of just changing the direction right away again, we just add like one of these clicks. So we kind of half the speed of the record movement, but we keep the clicks consistent. By the way, I always start backwards. This, you don't have to do this. You can also start. Fuck, but I can. But you can. You can do it, man. Just do it. Hey, anyways. All right, yeah, we have 25 minutes to go until SK is going to save my ass with some goddamn music, goddammit. But yeah, once again, if you're watching on Facebook, share this post. Help me to save this mess. Get some algorithm shit going. Same. Crafty Cuts has joined the gang. Oh, man. The man, the myth, the crafty legend. What's good, mate? Good to have you in here, man. I'm really nervous now. This guy is a fucking beast. All right. Hey, thanks for supporting over the years as well, man. I appreciate it. I'm telling everybody about 2-clicks and double time and syncopation. Syncopation. Anyways, again, we go back to this thing. Compare that to the regular 2-click. Let me get back to my train of thought real quick. We have these extra 2 sounds in there. It goes like, so it's like 3 and 2 alternating. It's like we took that flare and tore it apart. And I'm saying that because it's called a tear flare. And I felt like I needed to give you guys this explanation because I didn't want to be seen saying that without like further ado. A tear flare. I did not come up with that. But this is what it's called, a tear flare. Hold on, Jacob, real quick. So again, we use these extra 2 clicks, just moving the record forward or back on each stroke, to tear up the flare, which if it were an orbit, it would just sound like this. I promised you we would do this. So let me shut up for a second and actually make you go somewhere. Wait. And you see this guy's doing like the bub up bub up bub up bub up bub up, the Latin percussion jam. Oh, someone is asking me a question that I'm getting a lot. I'm not sure if you actually are, but he's saying 1 finger, referring to how many fingers are you using on the fader. And to be honest, to this day, I don't really know. I would have to look up like some slow motion type stuff, because it always looks like I use 2 fingers when I 2-click. You see? I don't know if this is like a weird. I think I just do this, you know, so that's why it looks that way. But just my middle finger is like tends to be a bit more of an edgy guy. Like this guy is trying to go somewhere. I don't know, but he's like always. The index finger is more work savvy. He's kind of like, we don't have that much space to waste. you gotta be fast, my man. So we can't really go that fast. But I'm not doing like twiddles, and the proof I have for that, the best is I don't know how to twiddle. I told you guys this is like one of the 2 scratches. Control is different. Yeah, I mean, like I wouldn't say that you have to do it with 1 finger or 2. I guess like 2 is what always seemed natural to me. You know, like you're using 2, and if you're using 2 fingers, because people are asking if you're just supposed to use 1. If you really look at it, which one are you gonna use? If you go for like middle finger and like you actually like spread off, is that what it's called? Spreizen, Bruder. It's going to be very difficult to do the whole thing with one finger. So I just look at it as like I'm using 2 fingers. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. One of these 2 suckers is going to hit the target, you know. And if one doesn't, the other guy is there to pick up after his friend's garbage. And this is really all that I think about. So it's like, yeah, I know this is like the unromantic edition, but it's Corona time in it. Everybody is demystifying their own stuff, and I think that's all right, to be honest. Because yeah, it's maybe hopefully some progress. Okay, another question. Someone is asking about machine. I need to hurry the hell up so we can get there. All right. Are we good with this? Can we like practice the double time thing? Chat, let me know if I should move on. This is Arcade is asking, is twiddles necessary? That's what I'm saying. Like, no, not at all. Matter of fact, I would probably pay a good penny for someone to like equip me with like the voluntary skill to do that, you know, so I could just put it on or off. I would actually like that. But yeah, I don't know, like whatever floats your boat. I really don't think that there is any right or wrong to any of this stuff. Like yeah, I'm just telling you what works for me, man. I don't really think there is like the optimal best way. Someone is asking, is there a difference when you're doing boomerangs on double time? No, I wouldn't say so. And we still need to finish this whole thing up, so let's try and do it. Wait. Because a boomerang, which to recap, if you don't know anymore, hold on, let me actually change to something slightly less annoying. Oh wow, what's going on here? One sec. Oh, she said she wants some Marvin Gaye. Sorry, that just happened. Yeah, okay, so a boomerang is just a technique, so it doesn't give you any information about like necessarily about syncopation, for the lack of a better word, or rhythm or whatever. Like you can do, wait, my classic mistake, always turn off key lock. You know, like this is all boomerangs. It's technically the same. I guess like double time wouldn't refer again to like one scratch. It would just refer to like how you piece shit together. And I actually wanted to say that the key to learning this, at least for me, that's why I gave you this offbeat chasing stuff, you know, that has you like putting a lot of emphasis and focus on offbeats or whatever drags you into the next beat, you know, like this is what I wanted to give you, really. Like it's more important than any techniques or something. You could do this with like transforms and baby scratches all the way. You could do like some double time, you know, you can do it with transform. It's just a matter of like how you accent stuff, you know, that would show up to something like this. I forgot the pattern. I thought I could do it, sorry. But you get the idea. Anyways, this is what we want. So the tear 2 click is a great way to practice this vibe because it puts you into this like what I always used to call a offbeat mentality, but I don't know if that makes any sense. This is what I used to call it. You know, it's like just another one of these words that mean nothing. Double time, half time, all that shit means something in theory, but someone made it popular to be used in like the wrong way, because you're not really scratching double time, you know? Like it doesn't matter. We talked about all of this. It's about how you put things together, really, at least in my book. So for me, what I told you earlier, or like a couple weeks back, about like combos, if you end something, how you end something determines the next thing that you're going to do. So if you do something like, now I can either tear the record backward and close it, or I can go forward and close it, you know, and you're going to have to be able to connect these dots really, really quick. And if you practice this a lot, I remember being at Q's house, like practicing this for like 3 weeks straight, not really any new techniques or anything, just like, how can I like not get stuck? Because it was like, you know, like if you imagine you want to rap like Twister, your tongue is going to get twisted. That's what it's called, Twister. So fuck, Jesus Christ, couldn't do it. And then you have to like maybe pronounce something over and over and over, some difficult syllables. You do it over and over and over. Eventually it becomes less of a problem. It's pretty much the same jam. You're just going to scratch and scratch and scratch. And then for me, like for example, is little things like drills. This is something that's not really hard. It sounds pretty cool. This is like, I'm demystifying my shit really hardcore right now. But, you know, like whenever I'm in doubt, I'm just like, little break, one of these, and I'm good to go. You know what I mean? So, you see? Like, I'm just making shit up right now. It's actually a bit more difficult. Jacob, you said you had more questions. And then someone knows my real name. That's creeping me out a little bit. But yeah, anyways, I think I even said it before. That creeped me out. I forgot the question. Fuck. What's my favorite two-click? I think it's the Autobahn. Autobahn. That's a big surprise, isn't it? That's a big surprise. And then I was also asked, what was the most difficult scratch technique you ever learned? For me, it was crabs, but I told you that story before. It's because I didn't have a mixer that could do it, so I figured I'm not good enough for it. But yeah, that was difficult. And otherwise, it's still the ones that I can't do. Like I told you, twiddles. I don't know. Ray D is a fucking beast with these. I could never do them. And drills. You know? Because I have like, you know, like my bicep. I need to eat a bunch of steak before I can do that shit. That's basically what I'm saying. Hey, thanks for following, everybody. Don't forget, you can subscribe now. Yes, probably not the best way to advertise this after like, I was like, this is what we're getting. Professor, fucking insane professor right there. Yep. You can subscribe now. Feel free to send me some TP money as well. I will appreciate it. Other than that, we have 14 minutes to go before SK goes on. That guy's always on point, so I will be on time. One last question. Oh my god, yeah, okay. Someone is asking if I can do the scratches from Move Back by Azad. Hey, like, the problem with that is, real quick, I take so long to record these scratches for Azad, or like any artist that I work with, that guy in particular. And, like, I try to do my best stuff, and then sometimes it's so difficult that I need to record it for like half a day or something to get the perfect take. So I would not be able to perform that, like, you know, with like all the different samples and shit like that. But hey, thanks a lot, man. Means the world to me. Actually, keep your eyes peeled for more heaters coming up. Okay, so I have a choice of 2 desserts. What is your real name? Heinz. No, that's not true. I lied. Anyways. Okay, choose your weapon. Are we gonna talk about the Red Bull shit in depth next time? Kind of as in depth, but probably way less geeky than we talked about this today. So you either have a choice of like a hasty Red Bull 3 style thing, or a very cool and like chilled out, relaxed scratch off. I've been listening to this. We've all been listening to this beat for 1.5 hours. All right. Ding, 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 ding. You got 10 seconds. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Do we have any answers? No, I don't think so. Scratch off. Scratch off it is. I love you for this. I was hoping you were going to say that. Okay, someone's been asking what happened to Rasconiato. I wish I knew, man. I really wish I knew. I just know that he's doing well. That's all that I know. You know, he's doing okay. And yeah, I mean, like, hopefully even still DJing. That guy is one of the most original guys that I ever met. To be honest, like, if it wasn't for Rasconiato and Kid Fresh, I would never even have considered that I need to be doing my own shit. Word to the Muda. Hey. Orbit Scratch is really dope. Can you present me? DJ Midikona. I did a whole rap on 2 Clicks 2 weeks ago. These videos are still up. You can go check it out in depth because I already spoke about it more time than we have right now. I would recap it for you, man. I just feel like I'm not giving you your best time. All right, everybody. Oh, wow. For real? Streamlabs? Andre Valukas is saying that Streamlabs is causing some kind of drama. I'm so sorry, man. Shit, that's a problem. Let me know what that is. That I'm interested in this. All right, everybody get your scratch shit together. If you want to grab this beat, by the way, it's on my Discord. Head over there. Check it out. We're growing a tiny little hardcore community over there. If you want to like talk about DJing and hit me up and tell me what you want to hear about, that's also the place. Other than that, we're going to do our little weekly scratch off thing. We can practice the double time shit that we just did for the last 10 minutes. Hey, okay, is everybody ready? I'm going to just scratch for like a couple bars and then I will invite you to it. Do I need to change samples or are we good? Are we hardcore enough to like listen to On Fresh for the next eternity? You know, when I was a youth, that's all there was. So this is what we're doing right now. These awful effects, man. Hey, Seriales, what up, man? Phase latency? Check this. I would say nope. Okay, here we go. 2, 1, go! go twice as long this time. One more, my man. Or girl. One more, girl. Apologies. DJ Chroma, thanks for subscribing. Okay. See how I learned to not like cut into your shit? Well done, man. Here's my last run. Well done, motherfuckers. All right. I couldn't hear it, but I know you killed it. G or G-det? Whatever you are. My dude or my girl? All right, one last question. I'm going to be out of here in a couple of minutes. I know that SK is getting his shit ready. What was it? Jacob, hit me up. Wow, that is a very elaborate question. Someone has been asking, let me see if I can. Pete Funk, shout out to you. Thanks for taking the time, first of all. I guess I can sum up the question like, you would consider yourself a turntablist, wouldn't you, compared to like a DJ? What is the harder thing? Is that it? Am I getting that right, Jacob? What is harder? Being a resident in a club or turntablism, battle DJing? I don't know, man. Really, I wouldn't really know. I guess they're kind of different. How much time do I have for this? Okay, 2-minute deadline, ladies and gents. I think I don't know why this is, but I'm not alone with this. The whole turntablism battling thing, that tends to fuck up people's nerves like really hardcore. And I'm really trying to get to the bottom of this. Is this because we have like a gap, you know, between expectations and reality? Is it because it kind of attracts like a certain type of person to want to be a turntablist? Maybe someone who wants a little bit of clout or like power or something like that, you know, like people looking up to it. You never know. Anyways, when you're performing, everything is so like sensitive. I get really fucking scared, or I did used to get really fucking scared. So controlling your mind state in that environment to me is very, very, very difficult, and I have a lot of respect for the people who do that. Having said that, your second part of the question, there's also like these moments when you're just like a resident for someone, and I guess like people can't really see how difficult that can be sometimes. And I really have a lot of respect for good resident DJs, because a good warm-up DJ is more rare than you would actually think, and you get that like you can see that in the main event's face, like when they step on stage. It's really easy to tell, you know, if they're like, at least if they're in a really good mood. I wouldn't say that like the guy before kind of fucked it up, but it's like very hard to get that right and like get people on a mood without like making the main event kind of feel, you know, like you're taking his cake or whatever, like you're trying to make yourself seem important. They're both really hard. And I guess one is like more stressful. The other thing can definitely, like, losing a battle is not going to do anything. You're only hurting yourself. If you're like, obviously it's not going to hurt you for a long time. The resident thing, that's really like where you're telling other people who are in a business that maybe you're not good for it. Anyways, so it's very stressful. Thank you for that question. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Stay right here. Go nowhere. I don't know how many of you nerds I still have left. We're gonna raid SK's Twitch right now. If you're on Facebook, head over to twitch.tv/SK83 because the stream is gonna be over there in a sec. Same if you're on Mixer or whatever. Head over to our Twitch. That's what I'm saying. Let's go check out what the guy's doing. Much love to all of you crazy people who are actually watching this. I'll be back on Friday evening. I'll be back on Friday evening. I'll let you know what time or whatnot. All right. My name is Rafik. Share, like, follow, subscribe, and donate. I'm just fucking with you. All right. I'll see you guys on Friday. Peace. Love you. And stay here for the transfer. I'll transfer you to another dope-ass DJ right now.